from Love Jones. I believe his name was Savah Love Jones, along with Loretta Devine from Waiting to Exhale, Meta Golding from Hunger Games, and then some of the director and also the TV One content producer will be live with us talking about this amazing movie that is set to air on this Sunday at 7:30. So I'm really excited to have them there. And also we have in the building, I mean, it's just movie day, I guess, because then we have Mr. Ozzy Pie, and he's going to tell us how he's giving away a slice of pie and what that means as far as movies. And then, of course, what's a movie without popcorn? Because we have no other than
Monique Cobb will pop till you drop.
Pop Till You Drop. Now, I'm telling you, you haven't had popcorn until you've had this popcorn. You cannot wait to hear the different flavors that she has, because I've never, ever in life known popcorn like this until I met her. And, of course, then we have the founders of J. Dilla Youth Day, which is also this Sunday. Piper Carter and I believe Mahogany Jones will be in the building. So we have a power pack show for you today. And of course, it is February and it is the month of love. So as always, I like to start off with the word of the day. And because of that, last week it was love yourself, self-love. This week is love God more. And the reason why I say that is because once you have that foundation, that relationship intact, everything else in your life will fall into place. Learn to love God more. Some people may not even know or not even believe it. Like, you know what? My life has really been a mess. So if he was really real, then why did this or that occur? And my answer to that is try him. Everything that you call other people up to say and vent or cry, give it all to him and say, you know what? I was told to try you. So if you're real, I need you to move. I guarantee you, if you give it to him just like that, watch what'll happen. Just watch. I'm not a betting person, but I would bet my life on that he is not going to fail you and that he will show up. But you have to kind of get out of your own head and out of your own mind, because a lot of times we try to handle situations and circumstances on our own. And then we wonder why it's not working the way we want to. And then sometimes it's just, maybe not no, but just not right now. So we have to learn how to be patient, because, if you gave your child a BMW at the age of 10, that BMW is pretty much going to crash and burn. But if you wait until that child is possibly 21, 25 and knows how to handle things, then that's going to be keys for success. So it's all about timing and everything. So in all things, love God more, take everything to him, and then watch and see what he'll do. I promise you, you will be surprisingly happy if you do. Love God, then love yourself. And once you do that, everybody else will be just gravy. That is the word of the day. And as I stated, we have some really amazing guests in the studio. And now, he's been on my show before, and I said I really wasn't trying to see him anytime soon because because of his profession. And life, a part of life is death, and
Yes.
he has specialized in the art of making that second place that we have to go to, that dying situation, a great ministry to where he helps people.
Well,
And
thank
it's
you.
not something that people necessarily dread. He actually helps people go through that process. So he's
Wow.
definitely someone who helps a lot of people.
We try.
Yeah, yeah.
We
And
try.
it is no other than Mr. Ozzy Pie, and he is in the house.
Hi.
You're gonna
Hi.
give people a slice of pie now. Okay, so
Now, let me say this. My name is actually Ozzy.
I'm
with a
sorry, not
long
Ozzy,
O.
because
But
Ozzy is somebody else.
it's cool.
The music.
I've been called Ozzy so much. I answer.
So
It's
say
cool.
say it
I know
once
they
more.
talking to me.
Say it again. Say it again. I'm gonna get
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
Right.
Ozzy Pie, and you're junior.
The fourth.
Fourth. Yeah, because I forgot you had two more. In
My
between your
father
father
and my grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ozzy Pie the fourth.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's doing a really wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Because I know there's a lot of hype around a particular movie that's coming out, and we
Right.
cannot wait. It's done record numbers already, and it hasn't even started showing in the theaters.
It's gonna be bigger than Avatar.
I
You heard it here
know.
first, y'all. It's gonna be bigger than Avatar. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Right. Worldwide, as long as there's no player haters on the other side of the planet, they may not try to air it because of it's got black leads and everything like that. As long as we get none of that, it should be far larger than Avatar ever was.
It really should. It really
Yeah.
should, and I'm really excited about it.
We
and
are
I'm
too.
more excited about how you have actually partnered with this wonderful movie to help and assist people kind of get prepared. Tell us about.
Yes. See, all right. Now, one thing that we wanted to do actually is just to spread awareness. We wanted to do this anyway. We wanted to spread awareness about prearranging and the value of it. I mean, because we're in Detroit. We
Yeah.
deal with a lot of circumstances where people are using these GoFundMe's and
Yes.
all these different other ways to try to take care of their loved ones at the time of their passing.
Yes.
Our thing is that plan for it now, while you're still young, while you're still making money, while you're still doing your thing. I mean, if we can pay, $5 to go see a movie, $10 to go see a movie or whatever, and for that same amount of money, just maybe like once a week, you can take care of Mama's funeral.
That's true.
And everybody. It doesn't take a lot, to do it, especially if you start early.
Yeah.
The earlier you start, the more the financial advantages work out and everything. It's just so much better.
Yeah.
And also, we're cognizant of it getting to tax season. When that's coming up soon too.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna start freaking out around March, making sure they got their stuff straight, and everybody getting their checks by April.
Yes.
So,
Or before, because
Right.
I honestly, I don't like saying this, but this is what they call it. They call it, what is it, the Black Man's Christmas? Or
Yeah.
something. Like, that's
I've
really,
heard
really
that
bad. It's really, really bad. We
That
should be
is
saving
something.
this money that you get back for tax season.
Exactly.
Or investing.
or investing, or
Yes.
saving it towards your future and
Yes.
the future of your family.
Yes.
If you can use it to purchase some insurance
Yeah.
or things that actually can take care of your family to go on, and that's perfect. And
That's true.
I was thinking about this on the way here too, and how it kind of relates to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, you're dealing with this rising king. He was a prince, but
Yes.
now he's going to become king because his father passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's trying to put everything back together after his father is gone.
Yeah.
So he's got this enormous responsibility of putting everything back together. He got people that are against him that want to stop it. That this is all his kingdom, all his family, all his people. He's trying to keep them motivated and together. And we face that struggle all the time when we lose someone. Like we've lost our matriarch, we lost our patriarch. Some of
Yeah.
us out there,
Yeah.
and to put that back together is a struggle. And I've seen families go through it a lot. After Big Mama's gone, and everybody just goes their separate ways, and everything just falls apart.
It does.
I've
yeah.
seen that happen,
Yeah.
and it starts at the funeral. A lot
That's
of times,
true.
because they'll say some things, there'll be some fights, and things will be said that
Can't
nobody
be
can
taken
take back.
Yes.
And it all was made out of anger
Yeah.
and just being upset
Or
over
just
what has
stress
happened.
of not
Exactly.
even being prepared.
Right.
Because a lot of times, just like they say with marriage, what is it? Romance without finance is a nuisance. Okay, well, just like that. The same
Exactly.
applies for family.
Yeah.
If you haven't prepared yourself properly, then a lot of times they get into situations, and it's not even that they may mean it, but they're so stressed out because they want the last thing that they do for their loved one to be right and correct. And sometimes they're stressing because they don't have the finances, or they're trying to figure out how to get the finances, or now they're going door to door knocking, hey, have you ever loved Big Mama, can you donate this, that, and the third,
Right.
because hey, we didn't expect this, and we didn't have our things prepared.
Right.
And that's
Right.
true. We have to get ourselves prepared. And I'm so glad that people like yourself think about prior to, just because you're in the business of helping their loved ones rest comfortably and look the part leaving here. That does not mean that you're not cognizant of their life while they're here so they can prepare for moments like that.
Exactly.
And so,
Exactly.
because of that, you're doing this amazing event. Tell
Yeah.
us where it is and what we can. I mean, because it's so the verbiage is so on point. A slice of pie. Go and see this movie and get a slice of pie from Pie Funeral Home. I love it. Tell us what the pie is, what they'll be getting in addition.
Well, what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna start off at about 6 o'clock. The doors are gonna open.
Okay.
This is all happening at the Riviera Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the address for Riviera Theater is
On Grand River, right?
yep, it's on
Yeah.
Grand River. It's in Farmington Hills,
Mhm.
30,170 Grand River. The Riviera Cinema Theater. So, and this will all be on Tuesday, February 20th. That's
Okay.
the Tuesday right after the movie comes out.
Wow.
You know, that Tuesday right after. So if you didn't get tickets yet or don't, because you probably won't be able to get in if you don't have
That's
tickets
true.
yet.
If you don't
for a
have
lot
them
of
now,
people.
yeah,
So I have now, we got an opportunity for you to see it for free.
that's good.
And we're going to just making it free to the community. It includes popcorn. For
Okay.
everybody. I wish I had talked to my girl
Man,
first.
yes.
But I think
Yes.
the Riviera is going to give us some popcorn. So
Right,
on that one.
okay.
So they're giving us popcorn, and we're going to pay for popcorn and a drink.
Okay.
And also includes the to see the movie as well. And just get there early, and we're going to go over some valuable things about how to prearrange and what options are and all the good things. I got Rita Jordan is my prearrangement specialist at our
Okay.
funeral home, and she is absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenal. She will go through everything in terms of what to do and what we
Mm-hmm.
should do and how it should be, and she is fantastic. And she'll get everybody, and this is something that will benefit your family. And seeing the movie will be just the icing on the cake afterwards, because it's gonna be good even coming beforehand. So
Yeah.
and we of course want you to come. Don't be a shammer now. Don't show up late thinking that you're gonna get in and see the
Right.
movie
Right,
without
without
having
getting
to
the
talk.
information.
You know, right? Because
Right.
that's the important part. We want to make sure that you got this information and go into Black Panther knowing how to take care of your family.
And you know what's so ironic? The irony of the date for me is that's my mom's birthday, or would have been her
my.
birthday. And we had issues. And hers, it wasn't that we did not have insurance. It was just that based upon what she was diagnosed with, she had breast cancer. There was a certain time frame. And literally, we were like 3 weeks shy. And who would have known of the policy and everything being okay. And so, still finding the right funeral home and being able to get everything arranged the right way was something that I handled due to, it was a lot on my dad because that was the love of his life. And I understood. So it was kind of up to me to kind of step up to the plate. And I had never had to experience so many different things like that with the funeral home and to make the decisions that you had to make.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that, I was asked questions like, did I want it to be, is it cardboard or some type of board in the inside of the casket, or did I want,
wow.
it's different things that can be put inside of the casket.
Right.
I mean,
And
in
how
my
the casket's
mind,
constructed,
I would have never thought that those are questions that would be asked. And when it's your loved one, I'm thinking, no, I don't want dirt or worms or anything. I mean, and then, mind you, it's just a shell of the wonderful person that she was, and I get that. But when
Exactly.
you're in that moment, you're not thinking like that.
That
You're
is
thinking
true.
your loved one.
That is
So
very
I
true.
mean, there's a lot of different things that Pie Funeral Home can definitely help you with for questions that you need to ask now. And so the discussions can be made now with your family,
Right.
so that you even know what their wishes are. So
And that's I think is so wise now and everything, So you see it firsthand. You
yes.
know, I've been in a situation too. My grandfather passed away, and we were saddled with a lot of responsibility. My parents were out of town at the time, so a lot of it fell on me.
Yeah.
And my aunt, she wasn't gonna do a whole lot at that time or whatever, but she did help too.
Right.
But we all kind of had to do our part and kind of pull through.
Mm-hmm.
But without there being a clear plan
Yes.
up front,
Yes.
there is that gray area, and you don't know how things are all gonna shell out after
don't.
everything is done.
You don't.
And you wanna, and that's the thing is, if you started off right, by way of getting all the planning, everything done early, and everything, and take that time to take care of your family and know the direction. And let's say is you may be the cornerstone of your family.
Yeah.
And you know that once you are gone, that you don't have anybody or that's going to take these things up. Who's going to take care of this responsibility, that responsibility, the things that you do in your life that are important. You need somebody to pick that up and finish. So who's going to do that?
That's true.
And you got to get all that together too. That it just gets you in the mentality of looking forward and asking what is the good thing to do for my family? What is the best thing to do for the people that I love and the people that I care about?
And it's so necessary. I'm so
Absolutely.
glad that you guys are doing this. I mean, a great movie and great information. I
Hey.
mean, they say our people perish for a lack of knowledge. And
Yes.
so you're providing the knowledge, and then we get to be entertained and just
Yes.
enjoy a really great movie.
Man, I'm excited about doing something that don't necessarily involve death, and
Exactly.
but it still involves my business, and I can have fun.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
It's a
That's
win-win for
great.
everybody.
It's a win-win. So,
So-
and look, like I said, I do this out of the goodness of my heart, like I do many of the things I do out of the city. Man, it's truly genuine. We wanted to, yes, we want to promote very
Yes.
unashamedly.
No, yes.
But we also want to give.
Of course.
And in the same process of that, that's more important to us than anything is giving and letting people receive, good things, because it seems like the funeral director comes around and he took away my mama. He taking this.
Yeah.
We're giving. You know
All
what I'm saying?
right.
We want to give to, and we want to be honest about our giving and
Yes.
be very open and real with people and let folks know that, we honestly care. And we want you to, enjoy this movie and enjoy this entire event. I'm going to have a ball.
Well,
Okay, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna wear. I might wear some African stuff.
I'm coming.
African girl.
Oh, what? Wait a
we'll
minute.
have
I can
ball.
get all queen-like.
We
Oh,
can get ball. We gonna
wait a
get
minute. Don't get me
in.
to thinking like that.
Let's
okay.
have a
Yes.
good time with it. Because this is, hey, and it's for Black History Month as well.
Yes.
When do we get to really just have a good time and do something fun like that?
Well,
So,
February
this is gonna be
20th,
awesome.
it's going down. It
Absolutely.
is going down at
All
the
the
Riviera Movie Theater in
Yes.
Farmington Hills
Yes.
on Grand River. And you said the address again is...
The address is, I think, is a 30,170. Yep, 30,170 Grand River Avenue.
All right.
It's in the Target Shopping Plaza.
Yes, right across from the Office Depot. I know that shopping center very well.
Yes.
I'm a lady, so I
Yes,
know
yes.
where to shop at.
Exactly. And also, everybody out there, if you're listening and you want to register for it ahead of time, come to eventbrite.com. We're on that, and
Okay.
this event is there, so make sure
Well,
you
I'm
register.
gonna go ahead and register myself.
Please
right after.
do.
Hello. I'm gonna be
Please
on the
do.
go at the show with
Yes.
Pi.
Yes.
That's what we're gonna do. Yes.
Yes. So let's have some fun. Like I said, the whole thing is on me. We're just gonna have a ball and party, man. So I look forward to seeing y'all there if you're coming, man. I really do.
Yes, and
I
we're
really do.
definitely going to be pushing this on all the social media, On the Go with Tiffany Patton. Please make sure if you need more details, it will be there after the show. You can watch us live on video. I'm live streaming on Facebook. You can listen to us live on podcast. I'll have the re-airing, which will be found almost everywhere. You can find the replay of the show on SoundCloud, on Spreaker, on iTunes, on TuneIn.
Yes.
On Detroit, Podcast Detroit. It'll be on my website. So if you need to rehear this, you will be able to. Give me. I think until Saturday though. I think that's when the replay will be up. But you'll definitely be able to have all of the information. If you didn't get it right now, shame on you. But February 20th, it is going down at the Riviera Movie Theater in Farmington
Absolutely.
Hills. And you get to see one of the hottest movies out. And if you don't have a ticket, it's okay, because Pi made it okay for you. They've given you a slice of pie. You get a ticket, drink, and popcorn. And
Come on in.
come out and get the knowledge as well. I thank you so much.
Oh, thank you,
Ozzy,
Tiffany,
for coming
having me.
out and taking time. You're listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton. You're linked to Love, Life, and Liberty. Make sure that you're in the place to be February 20th. We have much, much more for you. We have the lady of the hour. She's just, I'm telling you, you have not seen what can be done to popcorn until you listen to this lady. I cannot believe Monique can do so much with popcorn, but we'll be speaking to her in just a moment. And please stay tuned because, of course, we have the cast of Behind the Movement up next. You are listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton, your link to love, life, and liberty. So trust God today, okay? That is the word of the day. We have
It's,
Grammy award-winning
what time is your-
international jazz
your event?
saxophonist.
Oh, it's at 6.
It's at
Najee.
Yep, it's at 6 o'clock.
Speaking
So
with
we're-
us.
Now, don't forget me.
Oh,
Hey,
please,
guys.
girl, I need you
Well
here.
beyond what I've
Let's
ever
go. Let's
imagined.
go. I don't know if you
yep,
got
I
a ticket
have it.
already.
Nope, I don't.
We got our
It's a different time
tickets.
now. It's a different climate.
Okay.
Honestly, I would say that even though it's a different time, there are new opportunities.
wow.
Hey,
available.
guys,
How many
are you?
tickets? do
Not
you
just
have?
about ourselves and
we
not
got
just
100
about getting houses, cars, and
Yeah, we got
increasing
things
money,
like 85.
but honestly, the state of our nation and where we are, other people, other families, and our youth and these children.
You are listening to On the Go with Tiffany
So
Patton.
you got my card, but I don't have your card.
Oh, let me.
Hello, you guys. I got that working on like a whole other level going on right now. You are listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton, your link to love, life, and liberty. I love my thing
On the
again.
Go
Thank
with
you.
The very beautiful Kathy Hughes. Unfortunately, a lot of women don't open the door for other women, which is
Okay, want me
so
to
bad. Radio
Oh, can I
has
stand up?
instant
I
gratification.
ain't in
You
no
can
rush.
help
Oh,
people
I thought you was kicking me out.
Oh, no,
your voice
no.
immediately.
You're definitely
And
not
to
kicked
be able
out.
to connect
Okay.
I like to
people
have this.
so don't
I like
ever,
discussions.
ever look back,
I do,
back.
I do.
Don't ever doubt
Hi, you guys.
yourself
Thank you so
and
much.
just
Okay.
know
Oh, thank you.
that when the
Colette.
time is right, the good
Kenyatta,
Lord will send the blessing.
Chantel, Pastor Richard. Hey, Shanitia. Hey, Lloyd. Oh, you're very welcome. Hey, Alan. Hey,
One
Tony.
of my boys, Donnie, is Donnie
Maria.
Whitley? Is he on there? Why you say
Yeah, I
that?
think so. Hey, Jay. Hey, Mike. Hey, Karen. Hey, Derek. Anita. Wow, it's a lot of you guys. Hey, Bob. Okay, it's a lot. Hi, how are you guys? Hi.
For more information,
Hey,
call
Chantel.
313-964-3821 or visit the
I think my wife
website at
is wrong.
24grill.com.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
I
is
be
your
in the building.
business in constant need of graphic
That's all
design?
right. Come here. I wanna
L.
get
Ross
something.
Designs provides
Okay.
quality flyers,
here, though.
Snapchat filters,
We can have her
logos,
talk if you want.
business cards,
Oh,
and
yeah.
any of your day-to-day
Okay,
design
so
needs.
Chantel,
Monthly package options
just to let you know,
available,
I
or
know
just
your
order
show is
single
in the know.
projects as
I have a
needed.
tagline though,
Visit us today on the web at
for my mobile app, and I can't find
www.lrossdesigns.com.
anything else that rhymes. But it's like get on the go, get in the
Empowering
on the go,
moments
get in the
in
know
Black history.
while on the go. And
Today,
I don't know how else
we
to.
discuss
So I need your
and
permission.
celebrate Daniel
I'm
Hale
just
Williams,
saying.
born on January 18,
Thinking about it.
1856,
I don't know any other way to say
in
it.
Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. Daniel Hale Williams pursued a pioneering career in medicine. An African American doctor.
writer and just mastermind brain behind one of the hottest playwrights, hottest plays that are coming to the Detroit metropolitan area this March. And it is called One Harlem Night, a jazz musical thriller at the Fisher Theater March 23rd through the 25th. And it is an all-star cast, okay? She has Detroit's own Kimmy Horn, Detroit's own Alexander Zonchik. We have Marcus Polk, Willie Taylor, Carl Payne, Brian J. White, Darren Henson, and Felicia Snoop Pearson. This is an amazing, amazing cast. Paul, and I think I just saw Paul, I'm trying to think Paul's last name. It's a good friend of mine. He just started posting. I think he was just added to the cast and crew, and he's really, really great at what he does. And
yes, Paul Dean.
Paul Dean, yes.
Paul Dean, yes.
And Sherry, you have a really hot ticket here. How did you come to make such an amazing play? How does that just happen to you in your sleep? Or do you just sit and say, you know what, I want to do another one. Let me sit and concoct a story. And then how do you get your do you see the characters? Do you say, okay, I think Brian J. White would be good for this role? How do you do it all?
Yeah, well, you know, there are certain inspirations that I get, and Harlem in the 1920s, which is the time period that this show is set in, 1923, it's a very intriguing time. If you look at the style and music, and not to mention it's a period of time where African Americans moved forward and became recognized as intellectuals, and we have this great music attached to our culture during that time, and we're now being able to perform side by side with whites in this time period. So it's a very intriguing time period. It's also the time period that set the stage for the civil rights movement that came in the 50s and the 60s. So I sat back and I wanted to write a piece, which this piece is not based on any true facts. It is a fictional story with fictional characters, but set in a very real time. And we discussed some very real things that went on then and even right now. So when I sat back and I thought about Harlem and the way the women looked and how their hair was, and you know, I'm a dainty woman. I like daintiness.
Yes.
So I sat back and I wanted to really highlight and celebrate the African American culture, and what better way to do that than to showcase the music and the pride of owning something of your own, and many other things that goes on in this script. And so I was more taken with the time period, and then I am a thriller writer, and so there's some suspense in this show, and it'll have you sitting on the edge of your seat wanting to know what's going to happen next. And so as I was writing, these characters evolve, and yes, Brian White came to mind, and Carl Payne came to mind, and some of these other people, and they're perfect for the characters that are written in the story. So that's how it happens for me, Tiffany.
Oh, well, you know what? I cannot wait because I love plays personally. I know, and it's funny because I know a lot of people think plays are cheesy, and that's only because most times, you know, with plays, there can be dialogue and then all of a sudden someone breaks out in song. And so that's why I know people say it's cheesy, but I love it. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. I love it. I love musicals. So for me, it's a no-brainer, and I just like it because it's live interaction and you can see it real time. So I always love that aspect of it. But when it's evolved also around music, and then I love jazz. I've always been a lover of jazz. This has every component that I love in one setting. So I cannot wait to see this. Can you tell us a little bit about the plot of the play without giving it all away?
Well, like I said, 1923, Harlem, a jazz nightclub being ran by a singing group
Okay.
who's trying to make it big, be that next big thing. You know, they're pursuing their dreams as many of us do today.
Of course.
And so without giving any more, that's where we are. A
All
group
right.
of African American men trying to make it big in the heart of Harlem, in amid clubs like the Cotton Club and the Savoy Ballroom, and they're trying to, you know, get recognized for their gifts and talent. And so it's a great story with a little bit of mystery and sultriness. And, you know, we have the great singer Kimmy Horn in
yes,
it.
yes,
Yes, and then the legendary Alexander Zonjic, who's going to
yes.
be himself, basically. But there's great music in it, and we also have dancing,
All right.
professional dancing, tap
Okay.
dancing, jazz dancing. So you're going to see it all in this show.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so tell us how we can get tickets for this show. How can we do that?
You can go on my Facebook page,
Okay.
Sherry Henderson Entertainment, and go to the event One Harlem Night. You're able to, you know, go through that for tickets, or you can go straight to Ticketmaster.com and go to One Harlem Night and choose your seats and your tickets.
Okay.
Or you can go through BroadwayInDetroit.com
Broadway in
to
Detroit.
One Harlem Night
All right.
and get your tickets. So there's 3 ways, or you can go directly to the box office at the Fisher Theater
I was going to
and
ask
get your
that.
tickets.
Well, you definitely do not want to miss this play, because this is definitely one for the books. Kicking off, I would say, starting off the play season, where we start to have a lot of great plays in the metropolitan Detroit area. One Harlem Night, a jazz musical thriller at the Fisher Theater, March 23rd through the 25th. You definitely want to make sure that you see this. This would be a great gift if you have some birthdays coming up. Get 2 tickets. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this. Just off the fact of, and I'm not even going to go Hollywood first. I'll just stop right here in Detroit. Kimmy Horn, her voice is absolutely amazing. Alexander Zonjic, I mean, if you don't know him, just shame on you, because he is one of the best, one of the Detroit's. We claim him so lovingly. He's extremely talented musician, and I'm sure he is going to bring the thunder and the rain on this production. And then, of course, you have Brian J. White, Carl Payne, Darren Henson. It just goes on and on. I thank you so much, Sherry. Maybe, I don't know, I'll have to talk to Sherry. Maybe I can get somebody on the go to the play, but I'll talk to her offline about that and help somebody go and see this play. But I will be there. How many matinees, how many shows do you have each day?
Okay, so there's the Friday evening show, which starts at 8 p.m., Saturday evening, 8 p.m., and then Sunday matinee starts at 3 p.m.
Okay. So
3 shows only. Get your tickets. Hurry up.
Wow. Oh, yeah. So you really need to get your tickets, because this is going to go really fast. There's only 3 shows, so please make sure that you avail yourselves. March 23rd through the 25th at the Fisher Theater, One Harlem Night, a jazz musical thriller by Detroit's own Sherry Henderson. Sherry, I thank you so much for being on the go with us and sharing this amazing play. I definitely would love to have you back even before the play to come on and talk about it. Maybe we can get some of the stars of either Detroit homegrown or outside of Detroit to either call in or come down, and they'll be more than happy to come and do some more promotions for this amazing play.
Okay, sure. We'll work it out.
Yes. This is On the Go with Tiffany Patton. We have just amazing people. More amazing people have just entered into the building. If you do not know, Mr. Pie is in the building, Mr. Ozzie Pie the Fourth, and he's helping people get to the movies to see Black Panther on February 20th. Yes. That's right?
Yes.
Okay. And the Riviera Theater and Farmington Hills.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, we just spoke to Detroit's own Sherry Henderson. She is just giving everyone an experience to have a jazz musical thriller, One Harlem Night, at the Fisher Theater, March 23rd through the 25th. And then, of course, what would a movie and a play be without popcorn, okay? Now, this lady has just the most amazing popcorn ever. I'm going to pull this up because you're not going to believe it, because I didn't believe it, because I was reading it and then I had to say, what? And so I sent it to my daughter and she was like, Mommy, what? I said, I've never seen this. I've seen many flavors. I have. And I've had a lot of different people provide me with a lot of different tastes. But I'm just going to read a few of these right here. It's caramel popcorn. Now, that's normal. But then you have caramel apple pie popcorn. Then you have caramel apple popcorn. Then caramel and chocolate with pecan. Banana Foster. Cinnamon bun, lemon cookie, praline and pecan, strawberry cheesecake, chocolate cake, cookies and cream, banana pudding, peach cobbler, German chocolate cake, caramel and sea salt. Now that sounds good. Pineapple upside down, cotton candy, red velvet. Oh my God. Cinnamon and sugar, cherry cheesecake, strawberry champagne, key lime pie, creme brulee. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm still going, and there's still more. Mr. Remy Martin, pina colada, strawberry daiquiri, mudslide, Baileys and cream, and frizzy navel. Hennessy kiss. Wow. Okay, lady. I'm sorry. Monique Cobb is in the building. Meant no disrespect with the okay lady. I just meant like you are just the bomb. How do you do all of this with popcorn?
Hi, everybody. So, I just got in the kitchen one day and just started playing around.
Wow.
So really the business all started, honestly, I'm an engineer by trade.
Okay.
I work in automotive.
Okay.
And as most single moms, I'm a single mom, we overcompensate. And then overcompensating for our children, because I always say that my generation is the generation of entitlement. Because our parents were like really the first generation to maybe both parents worked in a factory, or like in my situation, my mother is a nurse, my father worked in a factory. So I always thought we were poor. But, when I look back, I'm like, oh, we were kind of high middle class,
Right.
But so I'm overcompensating for this little girl that I have. And she is the generation of ungratefulness. And so what I am trying, the business all started actually on Mother's Day of 2017. And what we did was I said, we're going to make popcorn. I had never made popcorn before. I had never, outside of putting some popcorn in the microwave, I had never made it before. Never made fresh caramel before, any of this. So I literally went in the kitchen and was trying to make it and made it. And when we took it to church, we ended up getting, when we left that Mother's Day Sunday, we walked away with 75 orders. So it wasn't anything that was supposed to be a business. It wasn't Big Mama's recipe. It literally was me just putting things together. And so the twist with our popcorn is everything is vegetarian. And I also make
like
vegan
it.
choices. But I didn't want to just stop there because in our community, so many people have diabetes, and I make just dessert popcorn. So then I branched out and I started making sugar-free options.
That's good.
So now, and I did it that way so that I could cross over so many barriers. So right after starting, we were actually endorsed by the Muslim Society, and because it doesn't have any pork in it, chocolate has, of course, milk in it, but when I do it for the vegan community, it doesn't have the chocolate. But so that's how we got started. I really just was trying to teach my daughter the concept of it's more blessed to give than receive, and I guess that truly is true because God turned something that was just really something to do into something very big.
Wow. Okay. I love this. Okay, so I have a caller.
Okay.
So hello, caller, you're listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton. May I have your name and your question or comment? Hello, caller. All right, call back. Okay, so vegan.
Yes.
Is it across the board vegan? So even some of these key
Yes,
lime
all of
pie and
those-
strawberry champagne and white chocolate popcorn, white chocolate cheesecake popcorn.
Yes, so everything can be made into a vegan variety.
Okay.
So yes, because they make so like the white chocolates, and so that, of course that's white chocolate. But there is a vegan version of white chocolate.
Okay.
So I'm able to do the combine the two.
Okay, so how, I guess for me, how do you, because when you put hot butter on popcorn, it kind of, it disintegrates a little bit. So how do you get all of the different flavors and it's to still hold that flavor?
So I can't tell you that.
Oh, you can't tell me that. That's right.
But I'm gonna let you taste. This is our
within-
strawberry cheesecake.
Oh, I love strawberry cheesecake. So, hold on. Okay, so Facebook Live. I need a piece of tissue or something because I have gum in my mouth. So I don't want to that would be rude. Hello, I have a caller on the air.
Yes, my name
Hi.
is Emma.
Hi, Emma. You're listening to On the Go. You have a question or comment?
No, I just want to make a comment that I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and I've ordered the pop till you drop popcorn that is so good. It's the bomb. She ships it like really fast. It's fresh. I'm like, and I get a couple flavors, and I'm gonna keep ordering it from her.
Thank you
It's
so
really
much,
good.
Emma. Thank you. We got a
Thank
place.
you for listening.
You got to now try the new line that we're starting, the adult beverage line. So that's with the Hennessy Kisses and the Mr. Remy Martin and the Mudslide and Apple Martini. Yes, you may.
Okay,
so that is the strawberry cheesecake.
Oh my God, it's
This is our next biggest seller.
Good.
This is turtle, and as you see, it has real turtles in it. I just brought, because I didn't know how many people were coming, so I just brought a couple in, because I make over 50 varieties. So whatever your favorite dessert is, I can make it into a popcorn. And as you see, it's still crunchy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is it okay
I'm
for
fat
me?
inwardly.
Sorry, I don't know what
Is it okay for me to say how good this
Oh my
popcorn
God,
is
you were
too?
getting to the juicy part. Adult beverages?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jacksonville.
See, I'm sorry.
Nah,
Okay,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
still on the line. She holding on like, send me my next
How
shipment.
you ever
Look.
down like that? Because I was trying to figure that one out.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm telling you, she has a whole little, oh my goodness, I didn't read this one. She has a Crown Royal on ice popcorn.
That's my Jill Scott, so Crown Royal on ice. So
What is,
Okay.
what is, forgive my ignorance, it's tiramisu?
tiramisu, it's a
Tiramisu, that's so good.
It's a
She
cocoa,
knows.
because she actually ordered the tiramisu.
Oh, okay.
So it's a cocoa based popcorn. So it's cocoa with vanilla, and then it has ladyfingers in it.
What's ladyfingers?
And it's a type of cookie. Emma, you gotta calm down a little bit.
Girl, but it's good.
Emma?
Oh, God. 'cause
Okay.
I love tiramisu.
And
It's
honestly,
good.
let me jump in here. This is excellent. I just had
It
this
is, it's so
strawberry
good.
cheesecake
Yes,
popcorn,
thank you.
and it's
Oh, make
blowing
sure
me
I got
away.
it.
I'm like, this is really good.
Somebody gonna take my.
This is
Yes,
awesome.
I'm
Thank you
telling
so
you.
much.
Oh my
It
God.
is really. Everybody in here in the studio, I can speak for everybody else in the studio who's not supposed to be speaking right now. This is excellent. I had to say something. I had to say something. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah. On behalf of Pie Funeral Home, we thank you.
Thank you.
And we
and I
gonna
would
have you-
love
yes.
to. Yes, I would love to make sure all your
Well,
staff
I
has
do-
popcorn.
We are definitely gonna
I
hook
do
that
have
up.
a question
Right.
for,
Yes.
for
Absolutely.
the pop as you drop lady.
Yes.
I just want to know what inspired you to start, the pop as you drop, popcorn. What inspired you to just, kind of jump into it?
Well, it started, as I stated before, just trying to teach my daughter to that it's more blessed to give than to receive, and you get blessed when you give other people things. Plus, in Proverbs, it says that a wise man leaves an
Yes.
inheritance for his
Yes, it does.
children's children. And so I'm not a man, but I'm leaving an inheritance for my daughter, not
I'm not
just for
mad.
her, but for her children's children. So she asks me all the time, she's only 8, can I help do this? Can I, and I'm teaching her all aspects of the business. It's not just, it's great to know how to make a recipe, but because I'm a cost engineer, I can break it down to the absolute penny. I know how much this costs to the penny.
Wow.
Of the popcorn to make sure that it's a proper profit line, and that so I'm teaching her all aspects. We're seeing a fourth generation over here.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we have to do in our community. We don't always have Uncle Bob to
Yeah,
go work
that's
at
right.
his factory. So we have to create these things for ourselves. So that's really what it started from.
Well, okay, so
Absolutely.
you made the perfect
maybe one-
segue. And I'm sorry, Emma. I'm segueing. I know Emma's in this thing. Okay.
Girl, I'm excited for her. That's beautiful. I love when people are doing stuff.
I'm not mad.
Yes.
She's gonna be my honorary co-host for the rest of the show because she in this thing. You hear me? Okay, so I'm going. That was a perfect setup though. Talking about the youth to kind of spin it really fast, because I know I still have the interview with the cast and crew of Behind the Movement, but Dilla Youth Day.
Yeah.
I have the incomparable Miss Piper Carter. She is in the building, and I'm so glad to have her here. And you know what? Let me do this the right way. So I'll let her begin to talk, but I just need people to know just how fly she really is. I'm gonna try to, because like you can Google her and it will just like give you stuff for days. And it's just because she is just that type of a woman. She doesn't talk about it. She moves in silence, and then when the silence is gone, it's a big explosion, and that's just how she operates. But Piper Carter is behind the J. Dilla Youth Day. This is the 7th annual, this Sunday, and I love it because I don't think enough people take time out for our youth, really, to really listen to them, because this is an entire new generation, and they have so many different things coming at them, way more than we could have ever had coming up. And I think we don't listen to them as much as we need to. And then when we see them act out, we wonder why. Well, it's because they need attention, and they need people to care, and they need people to actually care about the things that they care about. It doesn't, just because they're youth, and I don't want to even say kids, just because they're young does not mean that they don't have purpose, does not mean that they don't have a vision, does not mean that they don't have passion, does not mean that they lack talent, because actually the youth, because they don't have fear in them like we do as adults, they just go out and do this thing. And when they do it, they do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They do it, and they do it well. So, you know, the day and age of wait till you get grown to be able to do what it is that you think, that day is long gone. They need to start out young. And I love it because Piper is giving these youth platforms and workshops to be able to hone in on what they have a passion for, be given information about it, and take it to a whole nother level. Piper Carter, now she is, first of all, she's a phenomenal photographer. And I love it because she encompasses everything that is the arts that everybody's trying to take away from schools. Everyone's trying to take away, just even for adults, the things that matter from music and arts and art galleries, things that make people creative and different and set apart, they're trying to get rid of. And just as much as they're trying to get rid of it here in the Metro Detroit Politan area, is just as much as you will see this woman fighting to keep it alive. Hip hop is a real thing. I don't know when it turned to something that was actually a form of degrading our own race, because it was something that started to actually uplift one another. But guess what? She's behind that. The women of hip hop, that would be her too. So anything that is uplifting of the arts or women empowerment or just making someone the best version of themselves, you'll probably, if you look long enough, you'll see Piper Carter's name attached to it. And that is an amazing reputation to have. So I thank you and I welcome you to On the Go. Tell us, my sister girl, how do you, this is amazing, and it's a lot. How do you do this all and still remain so beautiful?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. Dilla Youth Day, let's see. Jay Dilla is He's the creator of Neo Soul.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Coney Gardens in Detroit. He's an innovator, a pioneer. He's worked with like Erykah Badu, Talib Kweli, Questlove, like you name it, Bilal, everyone, Common. He actually worked under Amp Fiddler.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the Amp Fiddler.
Yes.
And who's from Coney Gardens. And so when Jay Dilla, Slum Village, and all these guys were young,
yeah,
they all would go to his house, and he had a music studio, has this music studio in his home, and they would learn, he would teach them how to make beats.
Wow.
And he would teach them how to open up what's called an MPC, which is an instrument that's used to make beats, make music. And so what Dilla did is he opened it up, he tinkered with the MPC, and that's how his sound was born. And so people to this day try to copy his sound. It's really something that he created.
Organic.
And it's organic. And it's a mix of everything that's Detroit. So it's the technology that's a part of our culture, the streets, right? Like the neighborhoods, the soul, the funk, the jazz, the blues, and everything in between. And then and then taking hip hop to the next level, and music production in general. He has a certain way that he produced music. There's called a Dilla sound. A lot of people, like I said, try to emulate his sound, but it's really this special thing that like people just like can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like your grandmother's mac and cheese. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody can make mac and cheese, but no one can make your grandmother's mac and cheese. It's like that. So, and also too, there's a plethora of reasons that I started this day.
Okay.
So I was co-owner of an art gallery, a hip hop art gallery here in Detroit that I no longer co-own with my business partner. And so I had come here from New York City. I had a successful fashion photography career in New York City, and I came home and started doing the art gallery, working in community. And in New York City, I had been a part of the underground hip hop scene. Not as a rapper or anything like that, but as a supporter.
DJ Piper in the house.
Oh, no. Just an arts connoisseur, supporter. Part of, there was a culture that was there. So we were the ones who would go to all the events, but we were like the ones that would be like in the room. We'd know everybody, So we were there. I have lots of stories about how this record was made, and it's like you're in the studio like with these people. So I just was a part of that, and so a part of that culture is also activism.
Yeah,
but by nature, because especially if you're a woman and you love hip hop, you kind of have to be an activist. Because it's like, if you want to see positive voices in the space, right?
Yes.
And so in New York City, there was a nice, buzzing, sort of healthy, feminine presence, I would say, at least in the underground scene.
Yeah.
Whether it's the dancers, the graffiti artists, the people that support the arts or whatever. So in that world and in general, people love Jay Dilla.
Yes.
And so I was a fan of the music, the mixtapes, that whole thing.
Yes.
And when I moved to Detroit, there was two things that I said I had to, get involved in. Number one, I could actually see the Pistons because I was watching them all the time on television in New York.
Right.
And
Pistons.
Right. And so I was like, I finally get to see the Pistons.
And they're back in the
life.
D.
Right.
Yes.
And then and I get to be a part of Jay Dilla's legacy.
Yeah.
And I got to meet his mom.
Wow.
Who friends with now, have grown to be friends with. I've gotten to meet his family, his uncle, his children, his child's mother. So we've developed relationship over doing this event over this time. But when I first came back, we did a Dilla Day, and so that was literally like a concert. We had Miguel Atwood Ferguson, who made a film called Sweet for My Dukes, where he took he's a classical composer, so he actually took Dilla's music and has written it out.
Wow.
In musical notes and classical composition.
Oh,
and
my
he
goodness.
got an orchestra in LA, this multicultural orchestra in LA to perform it. Beautiful film. And we contacted them, and they flew themselves out.
Wow.
Then it was when the film premiered. So the film premiered here. It premiered in LA, and it also premiered in Detroit, like when it came out. So this was 2009. And so, so we did a Dilla Day. We got all these, rappers that were affiliated with his legacy to come perform. Like I said, the composer flew himself out, the filmmaker flew himself out.
Wow.
It was a big thing. We were able to give out copies of the film. And then the next year, I was able to, when we did another Dilla Day, I was able to bring Amp Fiddler. We did a panel discussion.
Yeah.
And it was like Nick Speed, Amp Fiddler, and then we had... at the end, we had Urban Strings Youth Orchestra perform, and then when they performed, so they were playing stuff like Lady Gaga and all type, whatever kids know,
Right.
And so when they were done, I said, "Hey, can you guys freestyle?" And they were like, "What's that?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, my goodness. I was like, freestyle and improvisation is the heartbeat of the Black music experience. That is Black music, is improvisation.
Yes.
That's jazz. That's gospel.
Yes.
The freestyle, like being able to just go off the rip. And I was like, oh, my God, we're going to lose that. Because I'm like asking you, like, I'm like, you play this thing?
And I have no clue.
And they're like, yeah. And it's like, but I need to have the music in front of me, the notes. I'm like, no. Just play what's inside of you. And they were like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I was like, just play. And it was hilarious. M. Fiddler freestyled with them.
Wow. Cool.
And so he was amazing. And that's how it just came. Way. And it just hit me because the kids didn't know who Jay Dilla was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, we have to do this thing that we have to, let the next generation know who Jay Dilla is.
Yeah.
And that not just Jay Dilla, but about our culture, our legacy, and it was a realization that was going to be lost. So that's where this came from. At the same time, I started working with a lot of youth. I started working in doing like teaching artists, like at Cody, Pershing, and a lot of different, places. And then I started, I started like just learning more about how to really speak youth.
Yeah. It's a whole nother language.
It's a whole nother language.
It is.
Well, youth in these terms, right? In these
right.
days. And that's when I started realizing, like, wow, it's all about technology. They still have a lot of the same issues that we did.
Yeah.
And, just really being able to like hear, like you said, from them, what is their current culture, but then bring them to a space to learn what our culture is.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that, and we started bringing in computers. We bring in 3D printers. We bring in the different people that made music with Jay Dilla. People that make music with 50 Cent and Eminem. Like, we bring in big music producers to teach them how to make beats. But we also don't just have them do like the high end, like expensive stuff, because we realize that young people need to have access.
Yeah.
So we have them do like low and like low tech stuff too. So things you can find for free, like things you could download on your phone, on Google, and things they can access. But then there's dance. So we have all the elements of hip hop.
Wow.
So you have movement.
Yeah.
And then it's education. So we have different exhibits going on, and then it's lots of hands-on activities.
Yeah, I see.
We've got like the business of music,
breakdancing,
b-boying, breakdancing,
Arduino,
arts and crafts. Yeah, Arduino is actually how it's actually the computer brain, and so you learn how to program an Arduino, and you'll learn how to program any device or computer.
Oh, wow.
It's like the beginning of robotics.
Wow, yeah.
And smart engineering, AI, and things like that.
This is amazing.
So having them just like come in and do all these things, and it's all free. We have free food,
Wow.
free healthy food for the kids.
Yeah.
And we have, it's 1 to 5 at the Charles H. Wright Museum.
Yes.
It's going to be this Sunday. There's all the hands-on activities, and then from 6 until 8, we have the youth performances.
Yes.
And so incredible youth performances. Dilla's mother, Ma Dukes, is going to be there.
Okay.
And so she's going to give us a little Dilla history. His daughter is going to host. His youngest daughter will host. We're also, the DIA gave us an MPC to give away.
Wow.
So anybody that goes, they have a hip hop exhibit, which I'm actually in.
Okay.
If you go there, there's a picture.
Okay.
It's up another month or so. But Jenny Richard chronicled Detroit hip hop history.
Yes, yes, yes. And it is amazing.
It's an amazing exhibit.
It is.
So if you go to the DIA.
Yes, it is.
And so this Friday, they're actually going to have Miguel Atwood Ferguson at the DIA. He's going to be in concert.
wow.
You can actually see the Suite for My Dukes played live there.
Wow.
If you go to the exhibit Friday or anytime Saturday, they're gonna have Cecilia from Urban Strings. She'll perform on Saturday. Get your ticket, or even Sunday. Get your ticket from the exhibit. Come to the Charles H. Wright. You go to the DIA.
Right. First.
See the exhibit.
Yes.
Get your ticket. You'll be entered into the raffle drawing.
Okay.
You can win the MPC.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Beat Machine. All the professional producers use it.
Yeah.
It's an incredible piece of machinery. But like I said, we have Spinning. It has all types of Ableton, all types of hands-on DJ activities, music production activities, b-boying, break, all types of dance, movement. And we have a healthy hip-hop cipher. So the kids get to rap.
That's
but
cool.
but no cursing, no misogyny,
Exactly.
and no violence. But other than that, they get to express themselves on the
right.
mic. So hope that people want to come out.
This they definitely will. Dilla Youth Day, Sunday, February 11th from 1 to 8. It is so many things to do. You definitely want to make sure that you are in the place to be. Charles H. Wright Museum. This is amazing. 315 East Warren Avenue in Detroit. Go to thewright.org. And from the J. Dilla Interactive Experience to the Teen Center and Early Childhood to the performances that evening, it is an amazing event. So many different things. If you don't have, so let's say your child is grown, great, but you know somebody that has kids. Yeah, you just do. So there's no excuse of I don't have it. You don't need it because
it's all
free.
ages too.
All ages.
Yeah, we have specific areas for different ages too. So we have STEAM activities for kids 6 and under.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's they're going to be making music instruments and costumes and stuff, like things that kids 6 and under can make.
Yeah.
And then we also have teen activities. They're going to learn GIS mapping and how to about water safety and things like that. Since we're dealing with the water crisis here. And make them aware of that. But they'll and they have social entrepreneurship, so they'll be able to put those things on their resume. They'll actually gain skills to put on their resume. And so and we also have breastfeeding. We'll have a breastfeeding center. So for anybody that comes that has a baby, because it is a youth space, so we make it friendly for the mothers as well.
That's good.
So
that is so good. Please make sure that you come out. This is going to be absolutely amazing. I on the go will definitely be in the building. This. Man, we need so much more of this because the idle mind truly is the devil's workshop. And if we can get these kids just active, doing things that they love to do and expressing themselves, I promise you won't see half of what you see happen. They just need somebody to care. And this is caring in a mega way. So please make sure that they come out. It is free. It's free and it's fun. And I mean, I'm getting excited, and I'm not youth. I'm just young at heart.
Yeah, the young at heart are welcome.
Okay. Youth and young at heart. I definitely got to grab my nieces and my nephews and bring them with me, because this is absolutely amazing, allowing them to be able to express themselves on a much larger scale. Please make sure to have them this Sunday from 1 to 8. You can go to church and then bring them and drop them off so they can just have fun and learn and get some skills to be able to do something that probably a lot of you parents don't even know that they can do. We just need to take time out and listen. So this is definitely an event. J. Dilla Youth Day this Sunday, Charles H. Wright. It is absolutely free. Free food, free events, and free performances. So please come out and enjoy this fun-filled day. What we're going to do is going to go on a really quick break, and then we'll be back with the cast of Behind the Movement, no other than Isaiah Washington, Loretta Devine, and the TV One's content writer or collaborator, and then the director of this amazing, amazing movie that is also going to air on this Sunday. This is On the Go with Tiffany Patton, your link to love, life, and liberty. We'll be right back. You are listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton, your link to love, life, and liberty. So trust God. Yeah, well, I have to ask the question or set it up, and then as I set it up, then I'll ask the questions for each one.
Dancer,
So it's two.
composer, poet, educator, writer.
So it's the director of the scripted original programming for TV1. It's Karen, she's up first, and then it's Eric, the director, and then Meta Golding, Isaiah Washington, and then Loretta Devine, and then I'm closing it out with Meta.
Good afternoon.
Are you Molly?
That's Molly.
Hi, Molly. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze you in here, girl. I'm gonna just really go fast. So after this, I guess we can come back.
I'm really looking forward to finding out what I think.
My nephew's gonna love Jay Dilla Day. Oh my God. So now I just need to tell my sister right now that I have my
a lot of women don't open the door for other women, which is
her
so
sister
bad.
comes every year.
Has
all of them.
Instant
It's like,
gratification. You can
too
help
old or
people
too younger.
with
Girl,
the
boy,
sound
girl,
of your
boy.
voice
So,
immediately. And
yes,
be able to
I gotta
connect
just
with people. So don't ever look back. Don't ever doubt yourself.
Okay.
And just know that when the time is right, the good Lord will send the blessing.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. That's okay. And we're back. You're listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton, your link to love, life, and liberty. And I am really, really, really excited. And the reason why I'm so excited is because, well, first of all, I think I just have the most amazing guest that I truly, truly love and adore. But I've been kind of waiting for it today all week long. I have some of the cast and crew from Behind the Movement, which airs this Sunday on TV1 at 7 o'clock. And this movie is basically kind of set during the tumultuous civil rights era. But this movie is all about Detroit's own Mrs. Rosa Parks. And with that being said, I have just a phenomenal person. Most people know her as her title, official title, is Director of Scripted Original Programming and Production for TV1. It is no other than Karen Paterkin. And my question, I thank you so much, Karen, for being here. Tell us a little bit about this production, if you will, and this movie and what we can expect.
A little background on Behind the Movement. Most of us, when we were growing up, were taught that Rosa Parks gave up her seat or refused to give up her seat on the bus because she was tired or because she didn't feel like getting up. And that's actually not true. She refused to give up her seat because it's partially true. I'm sorry. She was tired of what was going on at the time. Emmett Till had been murdered a few months prior, and about 6 months prior, a few months before the boycott began, his murderers were acquitted. So there was an uneasiness in the community and a large amount of fear among African Americans and just a lot of mistreatment, as we all know. So Behind the Movement is the story of ordinary people who did extraordinary things. You will learn about Rosa Parks, who was a seamstress, who worked in a department store. She was also the secretary of the NAACP, and it was her job to record, not only take the minutes of the meetings, but to also keep track of the number of lynchings that were occurring at the time. You have Edgar E.D. Nixon, who was the head of the NAACP at that time, who none of us had heard of. These are all the hidden figures. You have Joanne Robinson, who was one of the prominent members of the NAACP and also one of the prominent women in the community. And of course, we have Raymond Parks, who is Rosa Parks' husband, who also many people don't realize that he was involved with working to bring attention to the Scottsboro boys' defense, and that was also something that was done. It was very dangerous for him and the people who were involved. So he was very concerned about his wife becoming the face of the movement. I don't want to give too much away, but you have our actors and actresses on the call, and you've got our amazing writer and our fantastic director on the call. And so feel free to ask any questions you might have later.
I appreciate that so much, Karen. I know you guys don't have a lot of time. I also have the director of this film, along with Meta Golding and Isaiah Washington and Loretta Devine. I welcome you all here. Eric, I just have a question. How important was it for you to be a part of this story and actually help tell this story? How important was that for you?
My job was made a lot easier by an incredible script from Katrina Ogilvy and by an incredible cast. And I think when you start with those elements in a story that so much of us care about as part of not just African American history but American history, it's something that makes coming to work every day so much easier. For me, it's an important story in part because my grandmother marched with Dr. King, and my other grandmother was at Emmett Till's funeral. My father was the first to integrate his school in Washington, D.C. And so these stories were things that I grew up with. And so I was really excited to learn more about, I learned through Katrina's script as well. When this was first brought to me, I didn't realize that there was 4 days in between when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat and when the boycott began. And I can't imagine what it took to organize and undertake, such a big ordeal. And then upon learning about all the people who contributed to that, not only Rosa Parks and her husband Raymond, but I learned about Edie Nixon, who I'd never heard about, which was astonishing to me, and Joanne Robinson, who with the Brigade of Women really launched the boycott. These are the people, the unsung heroes that we really didn't learn about in school because history books didn't always make time for that. But I think it's important to recognize that these people mobilized in a way that even now would be challenging. And so I was excited to bring that to life with a level of authenticity and with an incredible cast. It was capable of making it authentic because a lot of times these stories are painted with just a broad brush, and we think of these people as just heroes and icons, but we don't really get to know them as people because they have their own challenges, they have their own doubts, they have their own fears, and I think I hope that we are able to bring that to life.
I believe that the people that see this on Sunday will see that. I'm really excited because I see a totally different role by Hunger Games' very own Meta Golding. You have been given the huge task of playing Mrs. Rosa Parks. You had the pleasure and to be in the monumental shoes of this woman, which are pretty big to feel. What was your process in becoming Mrs. Rosa Parks, and what did it mean to you to portray such a powerful yet historic role?
Yes, first of all, thank you so much for being here. This is such an honor for me to come and speak about our film, and is such an honor to have been given the opportunity to step into the shoes of Mrs. Rosa Parks. Before I say that, I really have to say that Eric Avellino, our fantastic director, I felt like was my partner, really guided me and made me trust everything that I was doing, along with my illustrious cast, Isaiah Washington, Mrs. Loretta Devine, Roger Guinevere Smith, and everyone else. And the script was completely inspiring. So at first, I got Katrina's beautiful script, and it had a lot of references that was a jumping off point, because for me, of course, I knew who Rosa Parks was and what she did, but I really only knew what she did and her image. I didn't know anything about her past. I didn't know that before she gave up her seat in 1955, that she was a seasoned activist, that she was the secretary of the NAACP along with Nixon. And I got all this, and what I did, because I'm a little bit of a nerd, is I read, Mrs. Parks was a prolific author, so I read everything I could that she wrote, and there was also lots of other biographies about her, and there was also some audio and video of her in 1955, but these were all interviews, so they were a little bit stilted, and also there was a very specific strategy that the NAACP had by choosing to have Mrs. Park as the face, to sort of promote her as a everyday woman, because and she was an everyday woman, but not so much
because she's just closing it up
as an activist and as part of the movement, along with her other the other Montgomery activists, because at the time it was a very, very challenging time for Black folks in the segregated South, a very dangerous time for them to even join the boycott. So they needed to promote this image of a very reserved, church-going, responsible person, which she was, but that wasn't the full story. So I really, also, I went to a lot of church because
if I can
the
talk about the youth work we
historically
do
Black
too?
churches
Because we've
were
been
always
building a program and working on the east side, and it's getting a
organizing
lot
and
of
the civil
positive
rights
support,
movement,
but we
and
still
Mrs.
need to
Parks
keep
was
going
a
after
woman
funding
of
and get more
faith
support,
and
because we
gained
want
a
to scale
lot
it out to
of
other schools too.
strength and
And it's like
courage
interesting
from her
because the
faith.
approach we're taking
And I
is
always
we're letting
find
the
it so
youth build the
interesting the
program
way
that we're
people
giving
worship.
them.
That is really cool.
So if we could talk about
it
that too,
informs a lot of
if I can't
I
talk
find.
today.
Yes, no,
But
I
so
love,
that's all the
I
work
Plus the
I
poverty
did,
simulations.
in the very short time that I
Because the poverty simulation at this point, it's like totally overfilled.
began.
So
But then once
we
I
can
was
offer
there,
it to other
I think
organizations, and it's like
just
we
my
can take it
cast
on the
members,
go, and we offer it at the
everybody
university
just came
frequently.
in so
But
prepared,
I mean,
and
there's no one that
just
could
these
really
are the most
participate
beautiful
now.
actors you'll ever see or work with, and Eric, our director, I really felt supported.
It's only a 2-hour show, but Meta, I have Isaiah Washington, who I'm sure loves the camaraderie that you guys had doing this film. Isaiah Washington, if you're trying to figure out why that name sounds familiar, it's because, Grey's Anatomy, then Love Jones, and The 100, you've probably seen him on and known him for. But in this role, he's playing Edgar E.D. Nixon. Isaiah, how did this movie or role impact you, and what would you like the viewers to take away after seeing this film?
The movie impacted me greatly. Almost 30 years I've been doing this, and I still have the nerve to be picky. And I only am motivated by things that move my spirit, that moves my soul first. And Katrina Ogilvy's words, I found them to be, now soon to be 55, I read a lot. It struck me as a surrealist, trying to have a conversation at a time where surrealism needs to be brought back. It was not just a civil rights movement, but I felt like another artist was speaking to me and say, rise up, bring the best you can best to move souls. That's what I felt when I read. I made one call, and it was to Kathy Hughes. And I said, Ms. H, I'm moved by this piece. And I'm grateful that you've chosen to tell this story. I'm not motivated by who's telling it, what network, what studio. I've worked with everybody. I go where good is. And the experience I had, the conversation with Eric Avellino,
some of the conversations that we have
To me,
have now.
I thought I
Seems like-
died as an artist because now I
I
feel like
just
I'm
really thought that we were
interfacing
so past
with
it,
yet
that
another
we were
person who's
so much
romantic.
further, you know, and it's just like
Eric Avellino is probably the most romantic
still
person
have to have these
I've worked with in a long time. This is romanticism, his insightfulness with detail. Jacqueline S. Banner, oh my God. She had women on that set that were literally cutting out patterns that I grew up watching my grandmother get from Sears Roebuck. Cutting out the original patterns to make, I saw them at the beginning, the genesis of making Loretta Devine's costume and how they talked to me, why they were fitting me, and how they were fretting and working so hard to get it right and get that hat right.
she
Mesa.
scarily looks like.
What
I don't know
people-
how, because she doesn't look
the
anything
ethos
like Rosa Parks on her own.
At the
But
leadership
the way
of
they
Eric
did this,
Avellino, I'm forever grateful. I'm thankful for the art. I'm
it
thankful for seeing my brother
eerie.
Roger Goodyear Smith again. I'm thankful for Karen.
It is so
Thanks for
nice.
everybody, TB1 that truly gets it. But yeah, I was a part of something that I feel just as kind of class as Love Jones or Dancing in September, anything else. Everybody worked so hard on this movie, and that was unbelievably inspiring, coming off such a tough and rough and nasty, ugly campaign to end up how we got politically. So I look to TV1, I look to everyone on this call to thank you for giving me a breath of fresh air where I can feel good about being who I am as a man of color, a man, a father, and an artist. So I hope that is what people will take away from this film, because it certainly was my humble offering to work for the first time with the great Loretta Devine, get to know Major, and see again Roger Goodyear Smith. So thank you all for that.
Wow. Okay, so Loretta, so many people hold you in high esteem. I thank you so much, Isaiah. I know you have a busy schedule, but the fact that all of you guys were able to make this call and talk about this film is, in and of itself, says about this film, the impact that I know it will make to the masses, even those who are young now who may not even know who a Rosa Parks is. But Loretta Devine, you are affectionately loved by all of your co-hosts and around the world. You've been known from Waiting to Exhale to so many of your other roles in your career. But what or how was this different for you, the character that you played, Joanne Robinson? How was that different from all of your other characters?
Doing this because I thought I knew a lot about the Montgomery bus boycott because, you study it in history, and it happened in 1955, and I was a young girl then myself, and I was amazed at the things that I didn't know and what the people will learn as a result of seeing this movie. Joanne Robinson, an incredible woman. People think this happened in a short period of time, but they had been planning and working on this for 3 years before it actually happened, before Rosa Parks was arrested. And when E. Gray called her, she got on the phone because she was the president of the Women's Political Council. They had women in stations all over Alabama, and they immediately went to work on making the flyers. They got everything done in a matter of days. 35,000 lithograph copies were printed up and were given out and packed in her car and given to students. And because she was the president of the Women's Political Council, it was an initial group, and then there were 2 other groups that had over 300 women placed in all different types of jobs all over the city. Everybody knew everybody, all the churches. They were able to organize this, and with the help of the men and with the help of Martin Luther King and his church at Dexter, they were able to carry this all the way through. It didn't last for 3 or 4 days. It lasted for 13 months, and that is something incredible to know. So it just shows how powerful we are when we unite to do things, when people have been working on things for an incredible amount of time. My character had been disturbed on the bus herself, but she was not arrested. The fact that they arrested Rosa Parks made it the perfect person to be the one in the front. And once they made that decision to go forward, it was just an incredible piece of history that everyone will know a lot more about once they see this.
And I know that she's somewhere where there's you may have gotten some of the feedback, but Loretta, I thank you for calling in. I I know that people, if they weren't educated, if they didn't understand, and there's a lot of unsung heroes as well that are a part of this behind the movement that people will see this Sunday. Meta, before you go, and once again I like to thank Isaiah Washington, Loretta Devine, Peterkin, Eric Evelino, all of you guys for calling and taking a few moments out of your day to talk about this major project, and it is a movement, and to allow us to understand behind the movement because it's many years later, but we're kind of still dealing with some of the same issues. Meta, do you have any closing words since you are Mrs. Rosa Parks? Is there anything else that you would like to leave us with regarding this film? Is she still there? Let's see. Meta? Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure. We may have lost her. We may have lost her. She may call back. But I thank all of you guys for calling in. This, I'm telling you, is a movie that you do not want to miss, especially for you that have kids. Unfortunately, they don't teach Black history anymore in the schools. And if you're wanting to teach your child history, someone who was bold enough to take a stand for her rights, which is Mrs. Rosa Parks, the late Mrs. Rosa Parks. This is a movie that's a family movie that you can watch and then have a discussion after. The name of the movie, once again, is Behind the Movement. It is going to be on TV One this Sunday, February 11th at 7 p.m. Please make sure that you mark your calendars, tune in, and then have the discussions that we're not willing to have, because it will, at that point, allow our children to be made knowledgeable so that we can understand and show more love instead of moving out of ignorance a lot of times, because a lot of times that's when things escalate, is when we're just ignorant to another person's viewpoint of how they see life. So please make sure. Behind the Movement this Sunday on TV One at 7 p.m. Thank you once again, Isaiah Washington, Ametta Golding, Loretta Devine, Robert G. Smith. He wasn't available, but I'm telling you, it's an all-star cast. You're going to enjoy this film, and I thank you guys so much. With that being said, I have just a phenomenal woman who is she's in the studio with us right now, and she stands for something just as important for the community. And I love people who don't talk about it, they do. And I have a lot of doers in this room today. They're not talking, they are absolutely and positively doing. And it is no other than Molly Manley. And she has an initiative that she wants to talk about because it's coming up very quickly. February, I can't believe we're almost midway through. But February 16th is an amazing day where poverty simulation event where we're looking for volunteers as well. So tell us a little bit about, because I know people are saying Poverty Simulation Day. Like, what is that? Tell us about, Molly, what this event is and how we can, as a community, help.
Yep. So the Poverty Simulation is hosted by the University of Michigan Dearborn, mostly because part of the mission of the university is to help positively impact the community, especially the metropolitan area.
Mm-hmm.
Our office in particular has major focus areas around youth, environmental issues, and criminal justice reform, which poverty has a role in all of those areas, right?
Okay, right.
So we've partnered with our Office for Student Engagement on campus. We're the Office of Metropolitan Impact, and in partnership with them, we have gone through these trainings with an agency called Missouri Association for Community Action. And we have acquired a kit from them that they've assembled, and they distribute these kits all over the country. And what it is it's a way to put participants through a simulated month living in poverty.
Wow.
And this month takes place over the course of about 2 to 3 hours. And in that time, the participants will have to work through things like working with the social service agency, working
Oh, my goodness.
with finding employment.
Right.
They will have interactions with law enforcement in some ways. They have to navigate around how do we find transportation? How do we make sure our kids are fed and clothed and getting to school? How do we maintain housing? And the kit itself is very complicated. There's a lot of components and there's a lot of roles to play. And the volunteers that we recruit will be playing roles of agency representatives.
Okay.
When we recruit volunteers, we usually ask for community members who have had experiences either living in poverty, interacting with those agencies, or have had roles playing or working in those agency roles in their own lives.
This is absolutely amazing. Do you know how everybody needs this? Because then at that point, I think everybody would understand.
Yeah.
It would really be nice if we could put 45 through that poverty simulation, and then maybe he would understand.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Okay. So how do they sign up? If people want to sign up for this, how do they sign up?
So we have registration on our website. It's umdearborn.edu/metimpact.
Okay.
They can also contact me directly at my email, and my email is mrmanley@umich.edu. And my contact information is also available on the website as well, especially since it's so close to the event.
Right.
They'd probably have to contact me directly
Okay.
anyways to get involved. But we do host the simulations throughout the year. So while this one is coming up, we'll have plenty more opportunities
Going
as
forward.
well.
Well, if you'd like to sign up, please email her directly, mrmanley@umich.edu. You definitely want to do that. I like to thank all of my guests. Thank you so much, Molly. The poverty simulation, please get on the board. I'm definitely going to be posting about this. This is huge. I'd like to thank Piper Carter, OZ Pie, Monica. I'm sorry, Monique. I think what it is that this popcorn just really got me.
But I do want to say real quick,
yes.
If anybody calls, and my number is 313
Yes,
444 9305. Again, 313-444-9305. And if you say that Tiffany Patton sent you, you get 15% off.
All right. And see, she was going before I could even get to her thing. Okay. So make sure that you call her. If you say On the Go with Tiffany Patton Center, you get 15% off. Thank you so much, Isaiah Washington, Loretta Devine, Ametta Golden, TV One, Sherry Henderson, and Emma. Thank all of you guys for being on the go with me. Tune in next week from 5 to 7 p.m. Remember to sow love and to show love, because there's someone who needs you exactly the way you are. Until next time. Yep.
Thank you for having me on.
No,
Thank you.
No. But I actually did it to where I'll be getting off even an hour earlier. So what I'm gonna do is just come here straight from there. So I'll actually probably be an hour earlier.
Or if you need to work out a different time with Dave, like shoot him an email.
The 5 to 7 is good now. Now that I'll be getting off at 3. Yeah, no, in somebody else's time. Right, she looks nothing like her, right? And then they turned her into
The power of makeup.
yes.
Tiffany, we also have a program at the university that our office has been running it, like the administration behind and helping support. It's called Alternatives to Violent Force, and we're training police officers from Metro Detroit on more peaceful ways to interact with community.
Oh, I love it.
And restorative practice type trainings. And it's certified. Thank you.